Hello everyone, my name is Brian Grace and I would like to take the chance to welcome you to DPR Construction. In today's video we're going to cover a little bit about DPR and who we are, as well as our expectations around safety. DPR Construction is a company that's built on very strong beliefs and a culture that we're very proud of. At the centerpiece of our culture is our point of view. And our point of view is really made up of two key central beliefs. The first is the respect for the individual, and the second is the ability to change the world. Those are really two big statements. Respecting the individual for us really means that we trust each other's competency, consistency, and intentions. And everybody that is on our project sites is treated with that same amount of respect. We believe that what we do here and how we do it truly matters. In the world of construction, we create the buildings and the locations in which people do their best work. And that should not go unappreciated. And recognize that when you show up every day to do what you do, you are changing the world. At DPR, we exist to build great things. And we do that by making sure we stay true to who we are and true to our core values. We have 4 core values that are put to work every single day in how we interact with people, how we run our job sites, and how we treat our owners and our clients. The first is integrity. We conduct all business with the higher standards of honesty and fairness. In short, we can be trusted. Enjoyment. We believe work should be fun and intrinsically satisfying. If we're not enjoying ourselves, we are doing something wrong. Uniqueness. We must be different from and more progressive than all other construction companies. We truly stand for something. Ever forward. We believe in continual, self-initiated change, improvement, learning, and the advancement of standards for their own sake. Ultimately, these are only words unless they are put into action. We want to make sure that you understand that for us, it is really all about you and your families. It is for this reason that we have committed so deeply to your safety. At this point, I'm going to turn things over to our team to tell you more about our belief that safety is a value.
DPR is committed to an injury-free environment, IFE. It's based on 4 primary principles: supportive and demonstrative leadership, personal commitment, free and open lines of communication, and accountability. Supportive and demonstrative leadership means leaders actively participate, promote an injury-free environment. Leaders at every level are not afraid to stand up for what is right. Leaders provide appropriate resources, time, and money needed to accomplish an injury-free environment. Personal commitment means each individual is responsible for their own safety and the safety of their coworkers. This means you are responsible for your own safety and the safety of those around you, not the supervisor or the on-site safety person. You must accept and fulfill all responsibility for your own safety. Personal commitment requires action, not words. Be a positive role model and show your personal commitment to every employee arriving home in the same condition they arrived to work that day. Free and open lines of communication means every employee is comfortable talking about safety and bringing safety issues to the forefront. Concerns are addressed immediately and fairly. Employees are not afraid to report unsafe conditions, injuries, incidents, and near misses. Safety is integral to our business and is openly discussed at every level of the project. Accountability. Each individual is responsible for their own safety. Accountability falls on individual. If any one person fails to deliver on their safety responsibility, that failure may result in someone getting hurt. All trade partners must work together to monitor safety and to ensure safety is being maintained at the highest level.
Pre-task planning occurs prior to the beginning of any work, as well as any time the scope of work changes. The pre-task planning process promotes open, two-way dialogue to identify and document all potential hazards, as well as controls to minimize the associated risks. There are 6 core components of an effective pre-task plan. Define the scope of work. A clear understanding of work assignment is critical to safe completion of each day's activities. Define each important step required to complete the scope of work. An important step is any activity that progresses the work toward completion. Analyze the hazards. Here it is vital for crews to identify situational, inherent, and potential hazards related to each important step in a work activity. Develop and implement hazard controls. Once the hazards have been identified, the crew will then devise solutions to reduce hazards to an acceptable level. Perform work within the hazard controls. This step requires crew members to perform within the identified hazard controls. As the workday progresses, it is important to evaluate whether work is still within the scope of the pre-task plan, or should an adjustment to the plan be discussed and documented. Provide feedback and continuous improvement. Each employee will be involved in the pre-task plan and provide feedback to one another to identify potential improvements in the work activity. Pre-task planning is a collaborative process that allows crew members to interact and give feedback on their specific work activities on a daily basis.
There are many benefits of training in the safe way for workers to do their jobs well. A few of those benefits include: number 1, fewer injuries and illness. Number 2, better morale and greater career satisfaction. Number 3, higher quality of work. Number 4, lower costs of doing business. Though all work activity requires training, several specific examples include heavy equipment, rigging, proper lifting techniques, hand and power tools, personal protective equipment, chemical safety, power actuated tools, scaffolding, confined space entry, lockout tagout, fall protection, forklifts, aerial lifts, scissor lifts, and other mobile equipment. Spot checks for training certification or training comprehension are completed on each project. Each employee must be sure their training is up to date and adequate prior to beginning any work activity.
Proper PPE will be worn on the project at all times. Appropriate PPE will be identified during the pre-planning process. Each employee and trade partner is required to wear long pants, a shirt with at least 6-inch sleeves, a hard hat, safety glasses, a Class 2 shirt or vest, and boots of leather construction. Other tasks require a variety of personal protective equipment. Some examples include material handling, welding, confined space entry, painting, and working at heights. While going about your daily activities, each employee and trade partner is responsible to consider whether they have been supplied the proper PPE. Also, consider activities in the environment around you. It's the employer's responsibility to provide PPE, but you play a part by correctly donning, storing, and cleaning equipment. Ask for replacement equipment as it becomes worn or obsolete. Falls are among the most common causes of serious work-related injuries and deaths. Each individual will prevent falls from leading edges, elevated workstations, and into holes in floors and walls. Also included in fall protection is protection from falling objects. Employees will not work over one another without protective devices such as toe boards, leading edge guarding, or tethering equipment. There are 3 main components of an effective fall protection system: engineering controls, fall restraint, and fall arrest. Engineering controls are changes to the environment to prevent an employee exposure to a fall. When a system provides fall restraint, it tethers the employee utilizing a body harness and a lanyard to prevent employee from accessing the potential hazard. When a system provides fall arrest, it protects the employee by catching them utilizing a body harness, lanyard, and suitable anchorage point. Fall arrest is the lowest level of fall protection because fall arrest allows an employee to fall before relying on a perfect system deployment.
A scaffold is defined as an elevated temporary work platform. Workers on scaffolds can be divided into 2 groups: erector dismantlers and users. Erectors and dismantlers are workers whose principal activity involves assembling and disassembling scaffolding. OSHA requires employers to provide competent person training to each employee who is involved in erecting and/or disassembling a scaffold. A competent person is an employee whom is capable of identifying existing and predictable hazards and has authorization to take prompt corrective measures to eliminate the hazard. Scaffold users are employees who must use a scaffold to access work or an area where work must be performed. Employers are required by OSHA standards to have a qualified person provide training to scaffold users. OSHA defines a qualified person as one who possesses a recognized degree, certificate, or professional standing, or has extensive knowledge, training, and experience. Each trade partner on our projects who erects, dismantles, or uses any type of scaffolding for any reason must have proper training and must comply with all regulations and best practices for safe use of scaffolding. Heavy equipment, including cranes, excavators, and side booms, are an essential part of construction. All non-task critical trade partners are to remain outside the working area of heavy equipment while the machine is in operation. The working area for heavy equipment is also known as the danger zone. Danger zones include, but are not limited to, blind spots and areas of limited visibility, rotating machinery, swing radius, travel path, employees under suspended loads, working over or around existing underground utilities, and close proximity of moving equipment. When working near heavy equipment, remember these important safety points. Only qualified and authorized personnel are permitted to operate equipment. Stay alert at all times. Establish communication with the operator. Never assume an operator sees you. Prevent unauthorized workers or bystanders from entering a danger zone. Wear high visibility clothing. Watch for shifting, unstable loads, and no riders.
Always use caution when working with electricity. Electrical hazards can cause burns, shocks, electrocutions, and also falls. The following simple rules will help prevent injury involving electrical installations on the project. All electric equipment, including extension cords and handheld power tools, need to be approved by a nationally recognized testing laboratory such as Underwriters Laboratories, Inc. When using extension cords with portable electric tools, always use types designated for hard or extra hard usage, and never bend the plug, blades, or cut off the grounding pins from the cords. Keep electric cords and tools away from water. Do not use when wet. Please do not lay electric cords or cables on floors or in walkways.
Excavation collapses can occur without warning, regardless of the depth. The vast majority of trench cave-ins occurs in excavations 5 to 15 feet deep. These depths invite taking chances, and oftentimes it is good, safe-looking material that turns out to be unsuspecting killer. Excavation cave-ins don't have to happen if you follow some simple requirements. 1. Complete a pre-excavation checklist. 2. Before beginning excavation, establish the locations of underground and overhead utilities and services. 3. Remove and support all subsurface encumbrances to safeguard employees. 4. Employees working in excavation 4 feet deep will have an adequate and safe means of exit available at no more than 25 feet of lateral travel. 5. When employees work in a trench more than 5 feet deep, the employer must protect the excavation from cave-ins by using adequate protective systems such as a sloping or engineered shoring. 6. Having an identified competent person on site who is capable of recognizing existing and predictable hazards and has the authority to take prompt corrective action is critical to safe completion of excavation work on the project.
When you weld, cut, or grind, the potential for having an accident is significant. Eyes and skin can be burned, hearing can be damaged, a fire may start, and an electrical shock can kill you. Hot work requires a hot work permit issued from DPR Construction. While completing a hot work permit, always consider well only in well-ventilated areas or provide local exhaust ventilation. Do not weld, cut, or grind near flammables or combustible materials, liquids, vapors, and dust. Have the appropriate fire extinguishers close by. Handle compressed gas cylinders safely. Follow with proper use and storage procedures. And keep other trade partners at a safe distance from welding and cutting operations.
During the construction of this project, you'll work with or around several types of aerial lifts such as JLG, snorkel, scissor lifts, and articulating boom platforms. Let's review some safety tips for those working in and around this equipment. 1. Inspect the lift prior to utilizing it. 2. Never use a lift around an unprotected edge, no matter the fall distance. This could cause the lift to tip. 3. Never walk under the boom. 4. Only utilize a lift on level ground. 5. Only stand on the platform floor. Never stand or sit on the railing. 6. Always look in the direction the machine is moving. 7. Ensure that a fire extinguisher is mounted in the basket when performing activities that present a fire hazard, such as welding or grinding. Ensure you have a fire watch person below. Aerial lifts are excellent tools that can be operated safely with proper consideration.
The globally harmonized system of classification and labeling of chemicals is a worldwide initiative to promote standard criteria for classifying chemicals according to their health, physical, and environmental hazards. The primary goal of GHS is better protection of human health and the environment. DPR compiles materials information, safety data sheets for all product on site. We create a right to know station specific to each project. Doing your part by asking questions about products and byproducts of construction chemicals and materials will go a long way toward preventing incident on the project. Our right to know station includes information for the proper handling, storage, and disposal of chemicals, as well as the recommended personal protective equipment for usage and spill cleanup.
Okay, if you observe a condition that is unsafe, please take the following actions. If possible, correct the condition immediately. If you cannot correct the situation, safe off and monitor the area, then report or send someone to report the condition immediately to DPR and your supervisor. Correcting a recognized hazard is every partner's responsibility. Please do not look the other way on safety. Don't risk it. Take safety seriously by correcting and/or reporting all hazardous situations. All injuries, illnesses, property damage, and near misses will be reported to DPR immediately. DPR utilizes a grab-and-go packet and will also perform a root cause analysis to determine all the contributing factors in any incident. This procedure is not a fault-finding procedure, but is meant to help in preventing the reoccurrence of future similar incidences. The sooner an incident is reported, the sooner medical care and corrective action can be provided. This quick response makes for better results for the individual as well as the team.
DPR prohibits the use, possession, or distribution of alcoholic beverages, illegal or unauthorized drugs, and related drug paraphernalia. Any employee involved in or contributing to an accident or incident may be required to submit to a drug screen. The drug screen will limit post-accident, post-incident testing to situations in which employee drug use is likely to have contributed to the accident or incident. DPR's post-accident drug testing policy encourages employees to report any work-related illnesses and injuries without fear of reprisal.
All safety and health management systems require a discipline policy and a disciplined procedures. DPR construction doesn't want to police safety onto a project and knows the best way to create a safe environment is through employee participation. However, in the event an employee or one of our trade partners is unwilling to help us to foster a safe working environment, DPR will follow or outline discipline procedures. First violation, verbal warning. Second violation, written warning. Third violation, termination from the project. DPR construction feels strongly about the importance of safety in our projects. We have zero tolerance infractions that make us an employee or trade partner to be expelled from a project immediately. Zero tolerance items include fire protection violations, horseplaying, drugs and alcohol use, possession or distribution, lag-out, tag-out violations, confined space entry procedure violations, sexual harassment, discrimination, or knowingly violating a safety procedure.
We are proud to work with you on this important project. Safety begins with you. We appreciate your time and commitment. Welcome aboard.
Right there, right there. It's right after that.
Well, a few of those, oh man, I choked.
Proper PPE.
I screwed up there. Yeah, I looked away.
Yeah.
Always use caution working with electricity. Oh shit, that's the next part.
DPR's post-drug testing, I think we're good at. Are we good there?
I might have gone a little too fast.
That was the only thing. I mean,
Yeah.
everything else.
You want to read it again?
I don't know if I should have said that way, but
Yeah. Should I do like some Trump? Should I like get out here and do this? Should I trump it up?
Dang it. All right. All right, here we go.
Erectors and dismantlers are workers whose
You know what?
An employee is unwilling. No, I'm sorry.
It's okay. That's all right. Take a breath.
Oh, still erection. Gotcha.
I think I looked away.
Yeah, don't look away till approval.
Screw that up. Let's go back to that one. Yep.
Should I skip the 1, 2, 3, 4?
no, it's the one below, the paragraph after that.
Damn it.
The first part was
And certification and comprehension.
danger zones include, but are not limited to, let's start all over there.
That built environment actually allows everyone else within the world to do what they do do well.
That's on tape. Shit.
That's how he got busted.
Okay.
I love the ending. Loved that. That was beautiful. I had a tear in my eye. No, it was great. It was.
Danger zoos.
You're the
Danger zoos. Danger zoos. Sorry.
Booyah.
And it's a wrap.